You feel this nervousness on the phone there?
Sir, I've been trying to make an urgent phone call up there.
Well, I don't think it's something I want to do on an overseas phone.
You gotta make some phone calls. Hang up the phone. Prank caller.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the Packernet podcast. I am your host and resident panelist, as always, Ryan Schlipp. Check us out online, packernet.com. Find me on Twitter, pack_daddy. Please don't forget, link in the description. Several links, actually, but if you wouldn't mind getting signed up for the old grading website, if for no other reason, do me a favor. It's completely free. I just would like it for testing purposes, and then if you have any feedback as to how to make it more fun, exciting, etc., I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be fun. I got to remember to do it myself. Like I said, we're driving out to Grandma's, so I got to make sure we get there on time, get everything set up, and we can play with it. But ideally, again, if there's enough people, you'd be able to go to that home page and you'll see like live updates to the grades as like things spike. You know, it'll be a big play in a game and you'll see, you know, Derrick Henry shoots through the roof or something. I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be pretty cool. All right, so a lot of calls, not as much time. So what I'm going to do is start from the most recent and work our way back, because we're still very much in like the immediately after the game, and I want to start getting into more of, you know, the upcoming game if possible. So with that said, I don't think we have any new callers. Let's get started with Garrett.
Hey, Pack Daddy. Hope you don't have a Halloween hangover from eating too much of your kids' Reese's Cups. Just calling for predict what I think will happen on Sunday versus Carolina.
Not usually big on candy in general. This has been a rough Halloween for me. My son made it a point. He likes Reese's. It's about it. He just wants Reese's. So he's like, you know, he's going to grab himself some Reese's if they got it. Otherwise, he made himself a little list of stuff that I like, and I just like candy bar stuff. I don't like fruit-flavored crap. Like, who wants fruit candy? It's stupid. And I'll eat a Starburst or whatever. It's good, but, you know, give me a Milky Way, Snickers, whatever. So dude's been loading me up. He comes back with bags full of candy and, you know, throwing these things in front of me. So I'm sitting here in front of the computer just popping them, and it's been a problem. So I need to not. I'm going to start just like throwing my kids' candy away just to relieve my own my own temptation. Like, I don't know where your candy. You guys must have ate it all. Stop being so crazy eating candy all the time. You're all grounded. Way to go.
Panthers. I'm really, really hoping that this is a game where they put a lot on tape, take advantage of maybe letting Jordan Love pass a lot to set up the run instead of vice versa. I think this would be a great game to just open it up with maybe a team that maybe can't do a very effective pass rush, and we'll just see what they can do. So I'm predicting a game where I think if temperature and climate is favorable for passing a lot, I would like to see them pass for maybe for more than 400 yards this game, and we'll just light them up and get everything on tape, like I said, so that these teams that they're getting ready to play have a lot more to look at and figure out who they're going to stop, because I'm really hoping that guys that haven't really been producing step up. So we're talking about you, Matthew Golden. I want a big game out of you. Have a great weekend, Ryan. Go Pack, go.
That all sounds great, Garrett, but you know what you're doing wrong, right? You're doing that thing where if we win and have a solid performance, it's no longer good enough. You know what I mean? I'm not saying you wouldn't be happy, but I don't want to get into that mode where it's like we better have 400 yards passing and Golden better have his big breakout game finally, and you know, so we win by 11 points and you know, the run game still isn't really going, and we pass for 290 yards, and Golden has 2 catches for 15 yards, and it becomes frustrating as opposed to, like, a good thing. Even though, Watson had a good day, Dobbs had a good day, Tucker had a good day, Jacobs had a fine day of 70 yards or whatever. Let's just win. You know what I mean? And anything else is a bonus. If Golden happens to have a good day, if Jordan happens to have a good day, if Kraft happens to have a good day, if we happen to score more than what the spread is, which is like 13 points, if we happen to beat that, if we happen to get through the game healthy, if we happen to not have a lot of penalties, if the offensive line happens to block well and Josh Jacobs happens to run well, bonuses. That would be my thought. This is fan how you want to fan territory, but I just want to enjoy. I'm wanting to be happy on Monday, and the odds of that go down if we start handicapping the game too much, where it's like winning isn't good enough, because now it's like we could win and relatively comfortably. And there's still a bunch of people that are upset, and I don't want to do that.
Ryan, how the heck are you? This is Nico. Friday morning, just kind of getting prepped for today.
More.
Driving around doing some, I guess they're not honeydews, they're daddy dews. That sounds so much worse.
It's weird, yeah. A little weird.
It's kind of funny you talk about having a dead battery. I did the same thing going to work on Saturday. I have a truck that I use pretty much just on the weekends. So it sits from Monday to Thursday. And I use it Thursday, use it Friday. I went to use it Saturday. I moved it to where I load up all my equipment. Started fine 2 or 3 times just to do that process. I went to the gas station. I need a little gas. So put some gas in there. Go to start it. It just went, ugh. And I was like, no. So I too was stranded at the gas station with a dead battery. It's funny how all this stuff always happens at the same time. So, but I get it. It's probably the first cold snap of the year. So that's what he does to batteries. Anyways, just kind of thinking about stuff, and I wonder what they're gonna do with Carrington Valentine. Are they gonna throw him out there and? I guess he played most of the game last week and I thought he did a great job. It's been mentioned already by a lot of people. I know he didn't have a perfect day, but it's hard to have a perfect day. So I wonder if they're gonna roll the dice with him again, or I don't know about Nate Hobbs. I know we just signed him, and I liked his tape. I liked the good things that I saw he did. I don't know what's going on with him, but we'll see what they do. I know in the past, the Packers have been like, well, he's our guy. We're going to go back to him, and I disagree with that 100%. I don't care if you're a 9th-round pick or you used to be the janitor, and you tripped on the field during the game and you were amazing. If you're on the field and you're good, well, then that's just how it is, And I know a lot of leagues are like, there's a lot of bravado and, well, this guy we picked, he's our first-round or second-round draft pick, and we can't let some UDFA come in and be better. Well, if he's better, he's better.
Right.
That's what it is, right? So, anyways, wonder what they're going to do with that. I hope whatever they do, we play good this weekend, obviously. I know Clayton mentioned it, this could be like a Tennessee game last week or last year, and I think it can be. I still don't think it's a trap game. I feel that they're just kind of coming into their own. So here's to doing that again this Sunday. Go Packers.
Yeah, we'll see. I think the biggest fear as far as the Panthers isn't so much that the Panthers are terrible. It's the fact that we're facing the Eagles in 2 weeks, so it's more of like a look-ahead trap game kind of a deal. But we'll see. I don't know. Again, this is why I come back to we're still in just win territory. This is not like a one-win Panthers team. This is not the terrible 2024 Panthers. This is also not the playoffs. So if we win by 4, it's not great. It's not ideal, but whatever. At the end of the day, if you're playing really good football in week 19, let's say you go to the Super Bowl, no Vikings fan is going to say, yeah, well, remember when you beat the Panthers by 4? That was less than impressive, so Bro, nobody cares. Nobody cares. So hopefully there is no sleepiness. There is no sleeping on this team. We come out of swinging, you know. We'll see how she goes, I guess, though.
Hey, Ryan, I'm going to do this, and I'll probably do it again. I'm putting it late in, and I don't assume it'll make it before the cut. But
I got you.
You're talking about Jordan Love's numbers, and I know you're not getting into the, what could be and how the seasons work out. But I'm going to say this. I'm going to tell people this. I don't want him to have an MVP season. I don't want him to have it. I don't want him to get it. If he's in the running for, okay, whatever, but I don't want him to have it. Because I went online and I looked. In the NFL, the MVP has about a 30% chance of winning the championship. That's the numbers I looked up. That's the number that I saw.
That feels high.
Okay? It's the AI summary that pops up on Google. So I don't want him to have it. Because I want us to have a better than 30% chance of winning.
When do we ever have a better than 30% chance of winning a Super Bowl? There's 32 teams in football, which for the record is a 3% chance. So all things being equal, we're at a 3% chance. You're telling me we have a 1 in 3 shot if, well, what are our odds right now? Yeah, we're at 12% right now. So I would be thrilled with 30%. I'll say that, unless I'm missing some like if it's of the 2 Super Bowl teams or whatever, then I would be, hoping closer to 50 than 30. But outside of that, I mean, you figure even if you're in the NFC Championship, you've got a 25% chance because there's 4 teams, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't mind those odds.
The Super Bowl. And, I know that seems crazy, but let's be honest. That is not the greatest percentage for the guy who is the best player in the league.
It's pretty good.
I saw another one, the NBA, it was like a 50-50 shot. You got the MVP, you got a 50-50 shot. Well, that's I can live with a 50-50 shot, but a 30% shot, I'm not betting my house on that. I'll tell you that much. I'm not betting my car on that. Heck, I'm not betting my favorite toy on that.
Well, I think here would be a better way to look at it. You have, if we look at it in terms of just 2 camps, there's the team that houses the MVP, and then there's the other group that doesn't have the MVP. The group that doesn't have the MVP has a 70% chance. Okay, that's fine, but that group has 31 teams in it. What if we look at each individual team as compared to whatever team happens to have the Super Bowl MVP in it? Or even playoff teams for that matter. Maybe that would be the best way to look at it, is playoff teams, which again, there are, 14 playoff teams? So that's a 7% chance for any given playoff team to win a Super Bowl. And that assumes the MVP has to be a playoff team, which I'm guessing it usually is, but I would also think there have been times where that's not the case. Could be wrong, I don't know. But yeah, a 1 in 14 shot is a 7% chance. You said 30, right? I mean, I would guess, it's probably not usually the case, but I would guess that there have been times in Super Bowl history where there are Super Bowl teams that are in the Super Bowl with a 30% chance of winning the Super Bowl. Maybe not. That's a little far-fetched, but yeah, I mean, that's kind of what we're talking about. 30% it's pretty high. It's actually not as rare as I thought. I thought maybe the answer would be 0, but it's not. The largest, or the biggest, whatever you call it, Super Bowl III, Colts-Jets, 18-1. The Jets, who were in the Super Bowl, were given 5% odds. Patriots in 2001, which they actually won, they had 30% odds. Bucks 2002, Giants 2011, Giants 2007, Eagles 2017, Broncos 2013. Which team was which in terms of what, I don't know, but those are years where the team in the Super Bowl had a 30% chance. Not like at the start of the season. I'm talking about at kickoff, just to put that in perspective. So 30% isn't terrible.
It's not that great a bet. So I'm hoping he doesn't get it this year. I know Brett had an MVP season and then got the Super Bowl. He also had another MVP season and didn't win the Super Bowl. So, they actually had 2 MVP seasons where he didn't win the Super Bowl.
I mean, if you're saying this about Super Bowl MVP and it was 30%, then we could have that conversation. But that's obviously a very different conversation.
Rodgers had 4 MVP seasons, didn't win Super Bowls on any of them. I want the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but how many seasons did he not win MVP and also not win the Super Bowl? I mean, I don't know that it ever helps anyone win the Super Bowl to not win MVP, does it? I don't think so.
And if that means our guy doesn't get an MVP, I'm all about it. Because he can get an MVP some other season. Let's get the championship first. So, I'm going to leave it at that. And y'all take it easy. Bye.
Something else I'd be curious about, and this is just a quick AI search, so it's potentially very wrong, but just to kind of put things into context. So here's some context for you. In the last 10 years, we've been to a lot of playoffs in the last 10 years, the highest probability that the Packers had to win the Super Bowl at any point that I'm able to find offhand, and again, this may not be correct, but it doesn't matter because the larger point still stands, is plus 300. That is an implied probability of 25%, meaning in 10 years, the Packers have never had a greater than 25% chance of winning the Super Bowl. So if you're telling me today that we have a 30% chance if Jordan Love wins MVP, that would be the best chance we've had to win the Super Bowl probably since we were in the Super Bowl. I think actually the 2020 NFC Championship game might have been at about 30% as well. I'm not positive. Again, these are probably not super correct numbers, but just to give you an idea, I think the last time we hit that high, 2010 NFC Championship game, according to this, was 44% implied. So that would have been at kickoff of Packers-Bears, 44%. The 2014 NFC Championship game, about 15%. 2016, about 14%. 2019, about 11%. 2020, about 30%. So as good as you feel about the Packers when they get to the NFC Championship is about the odds we're talking about. And maybe you don't feel very good because of our track record, but just to be clear, that's what we're talking about. 30 is, this is also why I bring up context a lot, because I think people get so angry, and I'm not talking about you, but people tend to get so angry when we don't win a Super Bowl, as though we should have like 50% odds. Even though there's 32 teams. And again, even if you say, well, there's not 32 playoff teams. No, but half the league is. So that bumps us up to about 7%. 7% is shockingly low. So when I said, and I even had somebody reach out recently when I said, I don't think the Packers are going to win a Super Bowl. And they were kind of taken aback by that. Like, wait a minute, what do you mean you don't think we're going to win? I just mean statistically, I think we have roughly maybe a 10% chance, and that's being optimistic. And that's low. And that's not because I dislike the Packers, it's because I like the Packers, but even good teams that I think will be playoff teams don't have any better than about 10% odds. That's why all teams almost never win Super Bowls. Because when you come into the season with a 3% chance of winning a Super Bowl, you shouldn't expect to win a Super Bowl. And that's why we need to just get wins against teams like Carolina so that we can get to the playoffs, so that we can jump up to 7%. Yay! Still unbelievably low odds. All right, let's take our first break. We'll come back with Daniel from California.
Hey, I brought up the idea maybe like a month ago of like Jeff Hafley shirts. Like, if like you need change in your life, like you need Jeff Hafley or something, like Jeff Hafley help me break alcoholism and all this stuff. Whatever shirt you want to make, like he's making me a better person. I listened to his press conferences. He had that one yesterday. I'm listening to it. It's just like, I'm about to go to work, like motivational. It's just like, I got all the confidence in the world in you, bro. Like, he hasn't got his opportunity yet, but we believe in that guy. Like, I'm getting all pumped right now, getting me hyped up, ready to go. I work for the IBW, pulling some cable, and I'm about to go to interview. Man, I hate that guy's going to be a head coach. I hate it so much. He's going to be a head coach, and it's not fair. It is not fair. We don't like it. He deserves it, but we don't want it. Stay with me. Need a shirt. Fuck. Just Jeff Hafley's face, and it just says "Stay with me." And hopefully we get enough Packers fans to wear that, and he stays. All right, go Pecco.
I think "Stay with Me, Jeff Hafley" is got to be the song for today. I think that's what needs to happen. I'm gonna take a little note here. "Stay with me, Jeff Hafley." I think the only kind of good news, again, I don't know what's going to happen, but there is an argument to be made that he won't get a head coaching gig. Our defense, I don't know that it's top 10 right now. Micah Parsons is going to be a detraction from Jeff Hafley, even though it shouldn't be. The fact that Micah Parsons is here, and I don't know that we're certainly not top 5. I don't know if we're top 10 in pass rush. Which again, I think there's nuance there in terms of it's because people are getting the ball out quickly, et cetera, et cetera. But every game where we're giving up 25 plus points, every game where we are kind of low on sacks, we are one of the worst teams in takeaways this year. We don't have a bad defense, but considering it's still an offensive-led league, going with a defensive coordinator, you look at like when the Bears hired what's his name, their last coach. That guy was like transformational, top 3 defense, like everywhere he went kind of thing. It was like a Mike Pettin-y kind of deal, not like when we got him, but Mike Pettin. As far as just everywhere he went, he brought great defenses with him. Had a longer track record, I think a better track record, and it was a failure. So I think every time that happens, people shy away from it. Like, do we really want to go defensive coach again? I don't know. If it was, and even, look at how long it took the Lions offensive coordinator to get a job. Granted, it was more his decision to not go anywhere than anything else, but I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. I don't want him to go anywhere, but I think if he can continue to be a good defensive coordinator without making our defense an elite defense, not that I wouldn't take that, but right now I don't think anyone views us as having an elite defense. Maybe the bad corner play is helping us a little bit, but you're probably right that he ends up getting hired away sooner than later. And I think that there's more to it than that. First of all, some teams are going to be smart enough to recognize the nuance. But beyond that, we know how good of a just coach he is, teacher, communicator, leader, former head coach, all that stuff. But I'm not giving up hope, man. I'm not ready to let the dream die that he stays and is stuck here for eternity.
Yo, Ryan, it's your uncle, Rico. FYI, Ryan and Packernet After Dark Nation, Uncle Rico cares.
Oh, good.
About Marshawn Lloyd.
Oh, good.
Dude's electric. I'm super excited for him. Kind of like the Christian Watson thing. I've always been jacked about him becoming an integral part of the Packer offense, and hopefully he can stay healthy because I know he's got what it takes. But I kind of feel similar about Marshawn Lloyd, actually, and I'm kind of let down about Luke Musgrave too. Thought the dude had what it took, and maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. Hopefully, I guess what you said about Marshawn Lloyd is kind of the way I'm starting to feel about Luke. It's a little easier to feel that way with that we have Tucker Kraft, but I still have hopes for Luke Musgrave, but maybe I should let go of those. But anyways, I do have these hopes for Marshawn Lloyd. Guy's amazing with the ball, so hopefully, don't write him off, Ryan. Just pray for him. Pray for that young man. All right, Ted. Rico out.
Yeah, and I guess I in a little way have kind of written him off. And I was kind of more speaking of, the question of why is have people stop thinking about him, asking whatever. That was kind of my reason why. I guess to some degree I kind of have written him off, but it's, well, first of all, I've never been a massive Marshawn Lloyd guy. I got pretty excited about a handful of, not that we've ever seen anything more than just a handful of plays, but he'll make a quick cut and it's like, oh dang, that was pretty legit. But the fact that it's been so long and we've only seen a handful of carries and that we have Josh Jacobs. I mean, the fact that, the odds of him becoming some kind of a great player that is good enough that we actually care, which, I mean, how good are you that you're, essentially replacing Josh Jacobs? I mean, are we talking 3 years from now, or are we talking as he's running with Jacobs and is getting less carries? So Jacobs gets, 15 and he gets 13, and I'm going to be blown away by his 13 carries? Or, you know what I mean? Like, the odds of him having the ability. So first of all, he has to be healthy. Second of all, he needs to not be a bust. Those are massive, massive hurdles. And then third of all, he needs to be so good that even while Josh Jacobs is on the team, and by the way, even Josh Jacobs can't be impressive because our offensive line is so bad, which is another massive hurdle, he's going to come in here and impress me somehow. I don't know how that's possible. I don't see a path. That doesn't mean it can't exist. Sometimes, you can't always see the path, but it's there. But that's why I think for now it's just kind of put out of my mind, because I don't need to. We got other stuff to worry about than like what is his path to being elite. I don't know. I don't care. We have 2 running backs that I really like, not to mention the tight end that I really like, and the 3-4 wide receivers that I really like. Oh, and a quarterback that I really, really like. I'm not worried about, Marshawn Lloyd. I mean, I feel bad for him, and I hope he's a good football player and he can get healthy and all that stuff. But I am, I'm not worried about it, I guess. So that would be where I'm at on that. And Musgrave, I probably, there's always a part of me that's like, well, he just hasn't been healthy, and maybe when he gets healthy or whatever. He's been healthy for a while now, and there's never really been a big breakout thing. And similar to everybody else, I mean, how is the guy going to break out, but also Golden's going to break out, but also Tucker's not going to fall off. Oh, and Watson's going to have more attack. Like, it becomes impossible. You have to pick and choose at some point who's going to get things and who's not. And I don't know. In fact, I saw some stuff about, talks about possibly Musgrave gets traded. I don't think it's going to happen, but the main point about it is when I saw that, I thought that kind of makes sense, actually. Especially since not only is Musgrave not really reaching that full potential, I don't even know that you could call him our number 2, because I feel like they like guys like Fitzpatrick because of their versatility more. Like, it's almost as if Musgrave is just a gadget guy, and his gadget is that he's fast. And that's kind of it. And even that hasn't been massively helpful. And I don't mean to crap on the guy because I really like him, but I mean, Tucker's handling that responsibility well. When you have Tucker that has the receiving ability, the speed ability, the yak ability, the blocking ability, and they kind of seem to want to lean on tight ends with blocking ability, and Musgrave has none, but maybe we'll put him in because he's kind of fast, but also Tucker has more than enough, especially when you have Golden and Watson and everybody else to do what you need to do speed-wise. His utility just becomes like, what is the point? And I hate saying that because I want it to be real, but I don't know. Again, I don't know that I see the path anymore.
Yo, Brian, it's your uncle. Rico.
Yo.
Hey, I just wanted to answer a question for Chris from Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
He had called in. It is last week, I think, is before the Steelers game, and wanted to know why people don't like Matt LaFleur, Matthew LaFleur, our coach, the Green Bay Packer coach.
Got it. Yep.
Chris They don't like him because they're effing stupid. That's why they don't like him. So that's the explanation. They're stupid. All right, then. Rico out.
On that note, wait.
Someone is at the front door.
On that note, we'll take our final break. We'll be back with Nico from Idaho.
Ryan, how the heck are you? This is Nico in Idaho.
Oh, good.
I tell you, it's a good week to be a Packer fan. Just listening to some pods. I'm at home, I smoked a big old pork shoulder to make some tacos. So I'm kind of divvying up the juice among the bags. Anyways, boy, that's funny. You know what's funny?
What?
Now everyone wanted us to get DK. Well, not everyone. It's like the media goes, well, the Packers should do this, otherwise they don't want to win. They all wanted us to get DK. DK this, DK that. And I have no problem with the money we are paying Micah Parsons. I think he is worth every penny, and that will only become more evident as time goes on and people just see it. Like I said, I think in the past, I really only watched him play when we played him, and we tend to handle him because, we got the Cowboys number. But so Parsons, worth every penny. DK Metcalf, talking about overpaid, hardly did nothing against us. So I did a couple things, enough to lose. I would take Christian Watson over DK Metcalf 1,000%.
Yeah, for sure.
Imagine how horrible DK would be if he was a Packer. I mean, he might be good, and maybe being in a good organization. I think that's part of it too. Being in a good organization maybe would help you be a better person. But I think, kind of like what you just said about quarterbacks, you kind of are who you are. If you're a douchebag, it doesn't really matter that you play for a really good organization that likes character. You're still a douchebag. You can fake it for a minute, but yourself comes out. It's hard to hide your true self. So I would not want DK Metcalf over Christian Watson. Heck no. With that said, we still gotta get right this game. Nothing's a gimme, Yes, I think we can if we play good boat race them. And the more we do this, it's good to score. Yeah, we should score 30. I would love to average 30 points a game, but our defense is really going to make it hard for teams to hang with us, even if we're scoring 22-23, So I tell you what, man. All right. I'm looking forward to watching this defense evolve as we continue playing. We're mid-season. I guess right now we're, we can all say, hey, we are what we are, right? They say, preseason, the first 5 weeks of the season. I believe that. So this is us, and we're just going to get better. No one gets injured. That's part of the deal. Hey, go Pack, go. Thank you, Pittsburgh, for wasting all that money on DK Attitude, Metcalf, boy, whatever his name is.
Go Pack, go. Part 2 for Nico.
Hey, Ryan, it's Nico from Idaho. So I'm still making some food together for tonight, and the podcast, when it's done with the podcast, just goes to the next one. Actually, I say on Spotify, it's like, you might like this podcast, and I'm like, don't do that. Don't put some finance podcast in between my Packernet podcast thinking I might like that. If I want to find some dumb finance podcast, I will go find it. But anyways, I listen to Matt Ramage every once in a while because he gets kind of funny, especially when he's got a good guest on. And I thought of a really cool drinking game to do while you are watching football, while you're listening to the Matt Ramage podcast. You take a shot every time he says, you know what I mean. I don't know if you could, I don't know, you probably, I mean, I'm not saying I'm an alcoholic. I've drank enough alcohol. But I'm not a huge drinker like I was when I was younger. I don't know if I can listen to 20 minutes of his podcast because if I had to take a shot every time he said, you know what I mean,
Be
I
sleeping.
might pass out in 5 minutes. Anyways, I just had that idea hop in my head. I thought, you know what? I want to share that. You know what I mean? Hey, anyways, go Pack, go.
Well, I appreciate that, and no, I don't drink either, so I won't partake unless I do the thing with like the something non-alcoholic and just drink lots of liquid, which can be uncomfortable, but I don't end up sleeping like I did when I did the 300 drinking game back in college where I never made it through the movie. But yeah, we'll see. I don't know how we got on that, but was that the whole thing? That was the whole call? I don't know. Garrett, what's going on?
Hey, Ryan, I just want to make a suggestion for an AI song. I think in light of Tucker Kraft's incredible breakout game on Tight Ends Day, I think we are all really secretly wanting a Tucker Kraft song to add to our library. So I don't really know how you enter information in for AI, but I'm going to make some suggestions of things to definitely for it to add into the song. Championship belt, since he's going to get one delivered to him this week in light of his little miniature trophy. He's a South Dakota Jackrabbit. And I think the song's theme should have something to do with like an unstoppable force, like a locomotive or things of that nature that you can imagine you would not want to step out in front of.
Mm-hmm.
So get to work, do what you do best, and entertain us. I'm out.
Well, I don't have to get to work because that's already done. First of all, it's funny that you said that because I already did the Yak God song, but also I saw your message on Facebook, and that song is already done. It will be on tomorrow's podcast at the end of the day. So there you go. We got 2 Tucker Kraft requests and songs in like back-to-back days. So that's pretty funny.
Hey, Ryan, Zach in Buffalo, buddy. Don't know if we get to this one. Hope you do. It's just a stupid little silly thing. First of all, love the win. Love the win from Sunday. I'm excited to go play the Panthers. We'll see what happens. You know, it's the NFL, and every week is a different week, and any given Sunday. But anyways, I got either scalding hot or freezing cold take for you. I think Micah Parsons might be the most dominant pass rusher in the NFL. Now listen, I feel this way because, first of all, the amount of pressures this man gets is absolutely insane. I mean, they talk about these pass rushers that come in, you know, they get those 3 or 4 just mess them up plays a game and just completely stifle an offense, drive, and stuff like that. Micah Parsons is in the quarterback damn face, like, most plays. Like,
yes.
It's insane. And you know what? The plays that he's still borderline getting pressures with people's fingers in his damn eyeballs,
right,
getting his head turned sideways by 350-pound fat boys on the line. And I can say fat boys because I'm fat myself. But listen, I think the dude might be the most dominant pass rusher that I myself have ever watched.
Yeah, I agree.
And yeah, I'm a younger guy. You know, I haven't been watching for too long. I've been watching since, just before Green Bay won the bowl against the Steelers back in the day. But anyways, it's insane. And if anybody wants to argue with me on it, go watch the damn tape. That dude is getting physically assaulted. He could sue people for attempting to commit heinous crimes against him for holding and just ridiculous hands to the face every single play. The NFL should do something about it, honestly, because he's getting assaulted on the field. And the plays that he's absolutely demolishing offenses. And honestly, oh my God, man, I'm so happy that dude's a Green Bay Packer. I really am. And honestly, and this rant comes on the tail end of that rat face, no good Skip Bayless running his mouth about, I'll take, Aiden Hutchinson from Detroit over Michael Parsons 7 days a week. Nobody cares about your takes, old man. We're sick of hearing you. You're nothing but a rage bait click grabber. Nobody gives a damn. It's go, fat, go, 24/7, 365, baby. And this feels like a team that can make a deep playoff run and bring Lombardi back. Go, Pat, go. Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, it is unfortunate that the numbers aren't quite there. I feel like I'm doing that thing that I had to do for Rashawn for years, or for Wyatt for that matter, where it's like, trust me, he's really good. I know like the sacks aren't there, but you got to trust me. You got to trust me. And some people do, and some people roll their eyes. And I'm kind of having to do that with Micah. I think it's a little bit more obvious for everybody, even though the numbers aren't, necessarily elite from a sack perspective. Most people can see the double teams, the holds, and all that, obviously the quick passes. But it is frustrating just from a standpoint of he's so good, he's deserving of more. It's not even about us. It's unfair that he doesn't have 10 sacks already. I just, I don't mean to tread on Reggie, because Reggie is one of one. And I'm sure there's some recency bias in terms of me just not remembering how dominant he was. But let's just say Micah does things, even if you're saying he's it's not that he's better than like Hutchinson or some of these other guys, because he's probably, it's just different. He's elite in a very different way than anybody else. I've never seen a speed rusher like this in my life. He is the best speed rusher I've ever seen. You want to talk power? A lot of guys in that camp, and it's tough to compete in that camp. I mean, you got from all the guys today, like Hutchinson and maybe I don't know if you put Myles Garrett in the. Garrett's good at both, but he even of the guys that can do both, there isn't a speed rusher like Micah. Like TJ Watt is a good speed rusher, not like Micah. And Micah might not have the strength that a lot of these other guys do. He doesn't have the strength of Hutchinson. He doesn't have the strength of Garrett. He doesn't have the strength of Bosa, either of them. None of these guys have the strength of Reggie. Like, that's just a different deal. But the speed that he has, the things that he can do, his ability to create space in the middle of a defense, to create a gap between a guard and a center or a guard and a tackle is insane. His ability to be blocked and then have a sack a second later. I've never seen anything like that in my entire life. Getting into like better or worse, I don't know, man. It's different and it's elite in a way that I've never seen a pass rusher. And I don't know how many pass rushers we're going to see like this. I mean, granted, athletes become freakier and freakier as we move forward. But there is no comp for Micah Parsons. The fact of the matter is he's faster than any speed rusher that I've ever seen in my life, and he's stronger than all of them too. Most of the speed rushers like Clay or whatever, when they get stuck, they're stuck. This guy's strong. He's strong enough to at least get to the side and then push through two guys with their sort of arm blocks, not full body, not square on, which is what makes him so deadly to begin with. You can't square up with him. He's too squirrely. He's too fast. And so he gets you to the point where you're not squared up, and then he can squeeze past you, because trying to block him with half your body or one arm, that ain't going to work. He's too strong for that. So the combo of speed like I've never seen in my life. Remember, he is one of the fastest guys on our team, period. And he's an edge rusher. The speed to power ratio, whatever that would be, Micah would be off the charts. He has I don't even want to say wide receiver speed, because it would be fast wide receiver speed. But he's stronger than most, inside linebackers. It's just, he is special. And again, when I say I get excited about him, the fact that we have him, and not just for this year, I have to keep reminding myself of that. I don't know if it does anything for you when I keep saying it, but the fact that I get reminded of the fact that he's not just a one-year rental, he's ours. He's ours. This year, next year, year after that, we get Micah. And we will be, as long as he's healthy, I don't know for the foreseeable future we're ever going to have a not good pass rush. Like, that's done. That's over. So for the foreseeable future, we have a very good quarterback and we have pass rush. We also have wide receivers and a running back and a tight end. And at least one offensive lineman. We got to figure out a couple others. Hopefully Morgan will make two. Elton's getting a little old. Banks is short term. Not sure Rashid is a long-term deal or whatever. Wyatt is long-term. Cooper is long. See, the other thing about being a young team, it's like we have holes. Yeah, but do you know how many not holes we have of guys that are on rookie contracts? Quay, not elite, but he's here for the long haul. We need corners. Yeah, that's true. But we don't. But It's not, a lot of other, they have holes, and by the time the draft rolls around, they're going to have a bunch more. We don't really have that as much. We're not trying to draft people just to maintain. We can go out and try to invest in corner while everything else is just cool. Like, we're just good for several years. You still have to hit, otherwise it'll catch up to you. But, man, I'm just excited to watch. And we gotta keep that sort of kid-like mentality. It's going to help us enjoy football. Again, when we get back to like that win wasn't good enough. Dude, on Sunday, I get to watch Micah. I get to watch Micah Parsons, one of the greatest pass rushers I've ever seen in a Packers uniform, help us win football games by terrorizing the opponent. The other team, as much as we're worried, like, what if this is a trap game? What if the other team has to face Micah Parsons. You ever think about that from the other perspective? How much it's like, dang, dude, we got to face Jordan Love. We got to face Micah Parsons. And they got Rashawn Gary. Like, those receivers are looking pretty good. Christian Watson freaking came back. Like, of course, everybody else gets to play the Packers without Watson, and we get Watson. Like, it sucks to play the Packers. As much as we might whine about it, if you're a Panthers fan, you're looking at the Packers going, oh, dude, whatever. Well, any given Sunday, maybe we pull this off. Anyways, after this week, maybe we can beat this team or that team. You think the Eagles want to play the Packers? I know they beat the Packers. I get that. They don't want to play the Packers. No way. I mean, Jordan Love's getting MVP talk. Again, Micah Parsons, we're looking at DPOY. Probably not, but I mean, he's in that conversation. And again, what do we get from Packers fans? Yeah, but the corners. Do you think other teams are looking at the Packers and going, I'm not really worried about MVP quarterbacks or elite pass rushers or wide receivers or offensive-minded coaches or Josh Jacobs. I'm not worried about any of that because they have mediocre corners. And so we're going to dominate them. Who is that stupid other than Packers fans? I promise you, Panthers fans are not that stupid. Only Packers fans are that stupid. I'm sorry, but people annoy me. Jacob, what's going on?
Yo. What's up, Packernet?
What's up, dude?
Couple quick things. Wanted to drop some thoughts here.
Hit me with some knowledge.
2022 draft class, kind of starting to look legendary from Goody.
Mm-hmm.
2, little poking fun at the Bears. Everybody who said Caleb Williams was better while he was still at USC than Jordan Love. Jordan Love just had 20 straight completions in a row. Caleb Williams struggles to get 20 completions in a game.
Yeah.
So there's that.
There's that.
And number 3.
There's always that.
Not a problem yet. But we got to tell this rookie, Matthew Golden, to chill out for now, bro.
Yeah.
You're going to get the rock. You've got to chill out.
Just chill, bro.
Please don't start deleting your Instagram. All this. You're a rookie, bro. Let's take it easy, but go Pack, go. Super Bowl bound, hopefully.
No, I'm 100%. Like it's like I've been saying. I'm not worried about Matthew Golden. He's got all the talent in the world, and eventually, again, maybe part of it is his fault. He's not quite doing things right. He's not quite getting the offense down. I mean, they're putting him on the field a ton, so I'm guessing it's not a huge liability. But whether it's that, whether it's Matt LaFleur featuring him more and designing things specifically to go to Golden, or if it's Jordan Love trying to go to, now that we have Watson back, he has a great relationship with Dobbs. He has a great relationship with Watson. He has a great relationship with guys like freaking Heath. But eventually, we're going to get there. It'll get there. It's going to be fine. But you're right. My only real concern is I don't want Golden. I think he knows what he's capable of. I think he, like everybody, he's, first round pick, wide receiver. Like, I'm doing everything correctly. And I was kind of hoping I'd be at like 1,500 yards and, however many touchdowns this year. And boy, if I could just get to 500 at this point, like what are you guys doing to me? He's probably thinking about if I was on that team over there that doesn't have any wide receivers, I would be the de facto number one and who knows what. I get that it's frustrating from his perspective. Hang in there. You'll be all right. Just, calm down. And Jordan, maybe throw the guy a bone a little bit. You know what I mean? Look his way. He hasn't let you down yet. Just throw the guy a freaking bone, all right?
What's up, Ryan? It's Peter Thomas from Milwaukee.
Yo.
Hey, just wanted to obviously leave a comment here about the music you've been creating.
Uh-oh.
And, man, that Rammstein version.
Yes.
That you just did on the last After Dark was just fire, bro. Clean and cool.
I freaking love that. Some of these songs I love. Like occasionally people reach out like, oh, that one song was really good. And for me, it was kind of a shrug kind of song. Like, yeah, it was okay. There's some songs I'm like, guys, wasn't that freaking awesome? No comments on like my favorite songs. Like of the like 10 songs that have been my favorite, not one person, doesn't mean people don't like them, but not like one person reached out to be like, that Rammstein song. I've tried to do Rammstein songs. It's never really panned out. This is the first one. Not that they were bad, but it was just like, it doesn't really feel like Rammstein. It's kind of like there's a couple elements that are ish. This was the first one that felt legit. And the funny thing is, this was also one of the songs where I'm starting to incorporate other music. And it was more of like a techno-y sort of beat. And I'm like, you know what that kind of... It has like that electronic kind of thing that Rammstein has a little bit. And I'm like, what if we went that route? And I thought it super panned out for my opinion. In fact, I can tell you the original here. I'm sure you'll recognize it. It's a very familiar song, but also somebody like remixed it. But this is where that came from. So that turned into the Rammstein song. So yeah, I'm having a blast. I'm hoping you're not mad at me about it. I know music is your deal, but I'm enjoying it.
Pittsburgh's blood runs cool. Just amazing, man. I love all the things that you're putting up there as far as music and content is concerned. Man, what a game. And for those of you who haven't checked out Packernet Studios on Spotify or Apple Music, I highly suggest it. I was just out raking leads and listening to the whole gambit of all the songs that Ryan's created, man. Check it out. Packernet Studios. Awesome music, Ryan. Keep it up, man.
Appreciate it. I got to do another batch because we're kind of getting to a bunch of different songs here. But I don't even know how many of them I can put on because there are so many things that are kind of ripped off, you know? I don't know the rules on like sampling when it comes to music, but like, you know, the one song, again, one of my favorites, but I took that little beat from Interstellar to make this one. Love that song, by the way. But like, I put that on Spotify? I don't know. By the way, 0 shout-outs for my song involving Sonic. Come on. It's Sonic, dude. No Sonic fans? Fine. I don't care. All right, I'll tell you what. Speaking of, what did I say we were going to do? Oh, stay with me, Jeff Halfley. What should we... I was looking at... So fortunately, Twitter found out that I've been like scrounging for music and it started throwing stuff at me. So I have a couple things saved. Also, Pixar songs. Stay with me, Jeff Halfley should be kind of a sad song, right? Oh, I know. All right, I will talk to you tomorrow. Hopefully you all have a great Packer game. I will talk to you then. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
We've watched the defense rise again. From broken plays to disciplined men, you turned the doubters into believers, made Lambeau Fortress for December. Every Sunday your game plan unfolds, turning young hearts into warriors bold. The way you scheme, the way you teach, success was always within our reach. And now they're calling out your name, offering you fortune and fame. But there's something you should know before you pack your things and go. Stay with me, stay with the green and gold. We've got unfinished stories left to be told. Don't chase the spotlight, don't chase the throne. Stay with me, you're already home. championships are built right here, with every player who holds you dear. We're so close to something rare. One more year we'll get there. The foundation that you've laid, don't let it be the price you pay. Stay with me, stay with the green and gold. We've got unfinished stories left to be told. Don't chase the spotlight, don't chase the throne. Stay with me, you're already home. Stay with I understand ambition calls, I understand you've earned it all, but legacy's not built alone. It's built with brothers you've known. One more season, one more year. Keep the magic living here. Stay with the green and gold. We've got unfinished stories left to be told. Don't chase the spotlight, don't chase the throne. Stay